By the end of this video, you will be able to understand why the real estate sector in Kenya is attractive to criminals who are laundering dirty money, and what effect does this investment of dirty money have on the other group of people who earn legitimate income and invest in the same sector. Now, when it comes to money laundering in this particular sector, because in most cases, people who are cleaning dirty money have it in cash, through the real estate, they can easily purchase off property using physical cash. An example here would be that a person can easily purchase an apartment using physical cash, and in the process, once they get the house transferred in their name and the physical cash handed over to the other party, then money has been laundered. Number two, when you think about this property sector, if a person is cleaning dirty money, they can also hide their true identity, meaning that if we have person A who is cleaning 200 million, they can actually purchase a property through a proxy, or they can do so through a company. That way, you can't really attach this particular individual to the property that has been purchased. So the aspect of hiding or disguising the true beneficial owner of different property can, of course, be beneficial to these criminals who do not want to be known. And I'm sure you have seen people who own buildings, and you will hear that so and so owns this particular building, but in essence, you can't tie that building down to them. It's because they have used several other people across the chain to take up ownership on their behalf. The other reason why this particular sector is very attractive to people who are laundering dirty money is because when it comes to investment, real estate is relatively stable, meaning that if someone is laundering 50 million and they purchase a property, that property is likely to continue growing in value. So it's also an investment that is reliable in that particular context. And the other key point that you need to appreciate when it comes to money laundering in this particular sector is that we have instances where someone will buy a house in a random location. For example, there is a big mansion bought in Kajiado. It was maybe a very old house. Once that house is bought using the dirty money, for example, we have a house in Kajiado that is bought at 40 million cash. Once it's bought, it creates an avenue to actually clean more money through the same house through what we call renovation. How does this happen? Once a house is bought, then a lot of money is spent renovating it. For example, the doors can be replaced with very expensive ones. The roof can be changed. Rooms can be adjusted. It can be tailed in a new format. And of course, you look at a very beautiful, extravagant house that was originally an old house. But in essence, the person who purchased it intended to actually use some of the cash to buy it and use the remainder of the physical cash to renovate it, thereby increasing its value. Meaning that if the house was originally bought at 40 million, by the time the renovations are done, it is worth 200 million. And if you ask, where did the balance of renovation come from? In most instances, this is a dirty money that has renovated the house. And in that process, of course, the criminal has cleaned their dirty money because they're able to go purchase construction material in cash and add value to that house. So this is one of the reasons why the real estate sector is indeed attractive to money launderers. If you also think about it, when it comes to real estate in Kenya, you might have seen several different blocks of apartments set up, and they're all empty. Because, truth be told, in most cases, when people are laundering dirty money, they invest aimlessly because the goal is to clean up the dirty money and have the asset standing. So there will be a lot of investment put into a block of apartment without taking into consideration the market demand. What impact does that have on those that earn money in the legitimate economy? Once these homes are built, and there are several of them, automatically there's going to be artificial increase in the rent price. Meaning that people who earn money in the legitimate economy find it so difficult even affording rent to live in such areas. Because when these homes are built, they're not built with the market demanding in mind. They're just constructed beautifully. Several of them are supplied. And of course, rent is set maybe at 100,000 or 150. The goal is not even to get rent in the first place. The goal is to actually clean this physical cash so that this particular money launderer now has an asset that is standing. They have been able to use the physical cash they had. That was their intention. But in the long term, those several investments in real estate actually impact the property market. In essence, it makes rent more expensive because then the artificial price is set. And then also, the other impact it has is that if we have a genuine investor who sets up an apartment, maybe using a loan from a bank, how are they really going to balance out the competition with those that are actually in the business of real estate for purposes of cleaning dirty money? Of course, it becomes challenging.